Hello, people. Thank you again for joining us on this edition of Worship Gist with Vashtie and Phemie. It's been a wonderful experience with you guys. Thank you for the reviews on the last edition. Yes, I saw that people were interested in the special condition that makes devil to meet God. All right, so it was a beautiful one, and we'd like to say thank you to our guests for that edition, Joshua and Tosin. Made it very, very beautiful. So thank you for joining us again. My beautiful wife is here again with us, Vashtie, world best.
Hello, everyone. You're welcome to this edition of podcast with Phemie and Vashtie.
It's Vashtie and Phemie. It's not Phemie and Vashtie. She's trying to be modest. It's Worship Gist with Vashtie and Phemie. Ladies first. Not in my own ministry once for. All right. So thank you very much for joining us again. We're going to be talking about something very, very interesting. Very interesting to the music world. Very interesting to music ministers. And the topic for today is respect or recognition and respect. Recognition and respect. And we're going to try to x-ray a few things about recognition and respect. Music ministers love to be respected and recognized, right?
Yes.
Okay, so we're going to talk about some personal experiences and some issues about that. But today we're not talking about this alone. We have a guest in the house. Mm-hmm. We have a friend, a brother. He can be a chastiser for musicians.
The one that does not settle for less.
For musicians and singers. Sometimes when you see him fighting singers, you wonder whether he has personal issue with them. Please, I'd like to introduce our guest for this edition. World best.
Yeah.
Award winning.
Yeah.
From dollars infinity. I mean infinity dollars.
Infinity.
Oh my. We used to call him Emily Dollar. Now he says we should call him Minister Namdi.
Yeah. It's not by power.
He says it's not by power. But it's his power for people. Minister Namdi, you're welcome.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for joining us. Thank you for honoring our invitation and joining us on this podcast. We're really, really glad to have you here.
Thank you very much. And thank you for having me.
He's looking very simple and looking very easy. He's not simple.
He's a no-nonsense music
director.
Nonsense.
He's the music director of Worship with Vashtie. He's been very, very instrumental in Worship with Vashtie, and where we are now, God has used him to be very, very instrumental in worship. God bless you, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. All right, so respect and recognition. I'm happy I'm not a music minister. So I'll just be throwing the questions.
Okay.
Respect and recognition. There was a time we had a ministers' conference in our church, in Living Faith Foundation. Yeah. And then I think the topic that time was talking about ministers. I can't remember, it wasn't a ministers' conference, but I know the topic at that time was talking about ministers. And then almost all the branches in Abuja were in one place. Yeah. And one music minister asked a question. He asked one of the pastors a question. That music minister is a pastor now. I'm not going to call his name. I would have loved to hear his view about this now. All right. So he asked a question. He said, see, every time that they are preaching, they will be saying, minister means to serve. And he used to tell them that they that are in music are also ministers. He said, but he noticed that they don't usually recognize them as ministers indeed. That they just call them minister by name. And they are not minister by deed or minister in recognition and remuneration. Mm-hmm. So he said that as far as concerned, they are just boboing them and whining them that they are ministers. And that they don't really make them feel they are ministers. Probably they see the way that ministers and pastors are being treated, and they feel that they are not treated in the same way or close to that at all. All right. So now I'd like to ask, Minister Namdi, can you share any specific moment in your career where you felt deeply recognized and appreciated as a music minister?
All right. Thank you very much again for having me. I'm really honored, and I've also been following the podcast, and I tell you, the world needs to subscribe and listen to previous editions. For the music minister and recognition as well as respect, before I share my experience, I want to quickly say that one of is you don't wait to be in an office before you are called a minister. So pastors are occupying offices.
Okay.
Bishops and reverends and all, they occupy offices. But a minister is like, for example, there's a ministry of education.
Okay.
And then the person overseeing the ministry of education is a minister.
Okay.
So you are not trying to say because you're a minister of education, there's one particular, you must be yes, exactly. It is your ministry.
It is the work.
So if you have a ministry, you are a minister. So if you have a ministry in the music department, then you are a minister in the music department. So you mustn't be treated as one deputy, especially deputy GO, deputy that, before you now say I'm a minister. So don't expect certain treatment before you recognize your office. I'm going to give you a quick example where I was recognized as a minister. Well, as a minister, you see, when you're doing your bid in your sphere, in your ministry, you will be recognized. Because if you wait for some denomination to have a structure that will bring you out and fetch you out and call you that minister, then you are trying to put the cart before the horse. So just get doing what you're supposed to do in your ministry, and then quickly you find out that the denomination start calling you out. I was a boy who started singing or music 1999 as a...
I have some videos.
Those videos are actually proofs, yeah. So I was a young boy who started in Doka, Living Faith Foundation, Doka, Kaduna. Now, the truth was that I was all about this thing called music. I didn't even know it was a ministry yet. So, but in secondary school, I'll go to school, I'll come back and I'll go to church. I'll be pressing the keyboard and then until 9 o'clock before I get home. My dad will, you know what they'll do. So finishing that, I now started doing some more. When people go to, you remember when you will browse all night?
Yes, now all
yes,
night
exactly. So I'll go to the cafe. I'll go to the cafe. By my left and right, they're browsing rubbish. But I'm browsing about music. So there was that hunger from the very beginning.
Okay.
And which gave me, which is the core of my ministry. Because if God finds you, He puts a hunger in you. And when you run with it, you won't look for men to recognize it. Men will just be picking you on the way. And so quickly, I was just doing my beads. I was just, doing my thing, getting prepared. I didn't even know I was preparing. I was just learning music and all that. I was in the choir. One time, our father in the Lord, Reverend P.J. Elia, came for an event, and was it a crusade-like event in that district, and he was singing. It was time for him to preach, and then he started singing because I had so much zeal. I want to do it. I want to get it out. And then I went on the drums. I started playing. For those of you who
did you know how to play the drums before?
Yes, I was learning.
Okay.
But the truth was that for those of you who are musicians, he was singing on 3/4. I was playing on 4/4.
Okay.
And then with the mic, everybody, the crowd, and all that, he said with the mic, "Please, can I have another drummer? I don't know what he's playing." So now picture that if you were looking for recognition. So quickly, I think I didn't leave the drums. I kept fixing the pedal. The pedal that was not bad. I kept fixing it. I stayed there for a while. But after that day, I made a promise. I said, God, teach me and let me be important in your vineyard, not in the ministry. And eventually, being important in God's vineyard brought me out. And on go the story where Pastor Jerry Abba came. This thing that the Joe recommended me to be used by Pastor Jerry Abba, and from nobody at branch level I became a national ESCO, and the recognition started coming. I didn't fight for it. David had to kill a Goliath, and recognition came. So just do your ministry, and then it fetches your recognition.
Thanks for sharing that wonderful story. Because there's sometimes that there's a boy I admire so much. He's no longer in our church, but he still comes around. When he started learning how to play drums, and every time he comes to play, it will always, in quote, be nonsense. But the boy never, and they will tell him, no, some music directors will tell him, go away. I don't want to see you on my drums again. They will do things, they may never say it to him directly, they will do things that make him not want to come back to the drums. But this boy, like a leash, he will still come back. He will still come back. And now the boy is good. He refused to give up, and the boy is good. And sometimes we used to call him and say, please, we need you to come and play for us. So that your story just made me remember that. Okay, so my love, I'd like to ask you a question.
Minister Vashtie.
You see her now. Everybody, please go and watch the previous edition. I called her my sister, and she chastised me for calling her my sister. She said I should not call her my sister again. Now I've tried to use my church man and say my love. Now I tell you.
No, you know when you call me my love, yeah.
Pastor Vashtie.
Yes, I like that because I may want to be biased when you say my love. So when you say Minister Vashtie,
I will not call you my love.
You will at some point.
That's what the top person.
You know, that's proof that even to be a husband is a ministry.
My brother. And I need recognition.
You are recognized.
Ah, yes.
All right, Pastor Vashtie.
Yes, sir.
Have you been to a place where...
Do I know this question?
Have you ever been to a place where you're actually going to minister and it seemed as if the way they looked at you, they reduced you to nothing? So, who is this person? That's it. Who is this? Have you ever had that kind of experience?
Sure.
Okay, please tell us. Disclaimer. In this program, you can mention names that you sabi, but it will be attached to you. Now you name the names you want to name. Feel free and name the names you want to. And if you don't want to name the names, please don't name. So,
I wouldn't mention names.
All right.
Because I believe that people react to you based on the information they have available about you.
Yes.
You know, so I remember very well when we were preparing for Light Concert 2, and the venue that we were going to use, the music director there, like, who is the person? Who is the person? Who is the artist? I don't know that person. You know, it sounded degrading, you know, but I really didn't take it too hard per se, because the kind of response we even got from him and everything was a little bit cold and what have you. But I didn't blame him because it was the information he had about us at that time that, you know, informed his reaction and that kind of question. But that's not an excuse. That's not an excuse because I've learned to respect people, whether I have heard them minister before or not, whether I've heard them sing or not. I would rather give you a chance because I believe that if the Lord has called you into a particular ministry, then the Lord himself will empower you. You understand? So by the time I give you a chance and I hear what you are doing, then I will now know that, okay, this is the hand of God, you know. And once the person says it is God that has called me, it is not in my place to begin to sieve to know whether did God actually call him or not. I don't have the measuring
scale. The scale.
Yeah, I don't have the skill to be able to do that. You understand? And apart from that, I think I've also gone to places where you see from the way the congregation is looking, it's not the big name that we know. It's not who is coming. You know, we are in a generation where people attend programs based on the big names that are coming. You understand? Not based on I want to go and have an encounter with God. I want to meet God. So we go there. Most times there's this excitement. Woo, is this person? Woo, the guy is saying he finished work for there. But the question is, after the person finished work, were you blessed? Was your life transformed? You understand? So I've seen where, those of us that don't have a name in the eye of people, we are not recognized. I don't know you, so I'm not going to warm up to you at all. You know, but it's fine.
Yeah, but you know, thank you very much. But you know, a natural need of a human being is to be respected and recognized.
Yeah.
And I'm sure music ministers also have that need.
Yeah.
You understand? So, Emily, have you been to a place where you seem to be, maybe they didn't know you, or they had not seen you before, never heard you before, and it seems as if you were looked down upon as a minister? Have you ever been in a place where you were looked down upon as a music minister?
Okay. Will I be saying looked down upon? It's really
not this kind of thing that you need to introduce yourself.
Yes, actually, it's relative. Mentioning names. Okay, I was in an event outside of Abuja. It was big, and there were a lot of big names. And
was it a music event?
Yeah, it was a music event. It's about 36 hours of worship.
Wow.
Yeah, and I was honored to be one of the ministers there. So there were big names, just all the names that you can mention in the Nigerian gospel industry. And then we were all received, we all came to sound check and all of that. And I tell you the truth, you know, sometimes it's not even the recognition, it's even yourself. You have to build self-esteem, you know. I was like, okay, yes, and all that. But something told me, my spirit spoke to my spirit, saying, for you to be called alongside these people, that means there's a measure of grace that you have to offer. And so I was the only odd person there.
Odd in what sense?
Odd in the sense I wasn't popular. I wasn't popular. Okay. I was the only unpopular person. Even in the Abuja, I wasn't that popular. So, who is this?
You're popular in worship with Vashtie.
Okay, yes.
Very popular.
So, you know, who is this? Who is this? And when I was asked to sound check, I tell you the truth, because there were other guys that had gone out to sound check and like, oh my God. And when they gave me my, please just sound check so that we can hear your voice. I was just rather doing them. Okay, thank you, it's nice. I didn't really sing because for safety. But and then and then when it was time for the ministration, I was put first. You know, it's a normal thing to try.
The one that we don't know. Let's
start with the children.
With the babies, yes. So eventually, I went up. And I had my first 1 hour. And the Holy Spirit backed me up. And the whole place was filled and dense with God's presence. And then one of the big names walked up to me and said, "You have grace. Thank you for coming." You know, I carried that talk and I rubbed it like this. And I rubbed it like this. Not to pride, but to realize that. So respect is not even as a result of you wanting it. It's just do you.
You earn it.
Yes, and then it comes.
Do you and you earn it. Beautiful. Yeah. Now, please, what constitutes respect for a music minister? What are the things that other people will show you and do to you that will show that they respect you and recognize you as a music minister? Can you just give us examples of things that, okay, nice, I now invite you. What will I do that will make you feel respected and recognized?
Okay, that's for me, right?
Yes,
for myself. Okay, for me, I will feel that you, first of all, know my name. Number one.
Know
my name.
One guy called her Vashtie.
Know my name.
That sounds like
another one said Vashtie.
Know my name, or you don't just say, okay, let's call on one music minister. Ma, please come up. Honestly, for me at that point, you have shown me disregard.
That means I should fight with Minister Nandi.
All things have passed away.
Well, that's what I said to me.
The first time he introduced me,
all things have passed away.
He called me Pastor Mama Vashtie's husband.
All things have passed away.
Don't worry, don't have to.
And then secondly, when you begin to size me, because I believe that you called me because you felt that I could lead the people in worship.
Even if you didn't feel, they must have told you.
Yes, they must have told you. But when you begin to size me, you begin to look at my team and what have you, you just get me disconnected. Disconnected immediately.
So to you, that's what constitutes that's lack of respect, disrespect, or non-recognition.
Yes.
Okay. Simon, you.
Okay. The truth is,
please,
be practical, right?
Very practical.
I wasn't practical.
No, you weren't.
The truth is, if you have invited myself and another guest, and then there is something somewhat of special treatment for this guest, and a little less for myself, well, I've conditioned my mind to accept it, but that doesn't take away the fact that it's disrespect.
Okay.
For example,
but they'll tell you all fingers are not equal.
No, it's okay.
All graces are not equal.
Same as but the same event is equal. So why bring the unequal for one event? Else you have the big event for the big one, but you decide that these two can draw down God's presence in this event.
No, the argument would be that they just want to give you a chance.
Well,
They want to help your ministry.
Well, for me personally, for you to bring me, I feel honor is scriptural. Just honor as best as you can.
Yep.
Just honor, any form of honor. If you don't have the car to pick me from the airport, no problem. But let there be some kind of honor. The way your protocol receives is just, it doesn't make me some special person, but it makes you the host. It shows that you know what honor is, and for me, that's my definition of respect.
All right, guys, thank you both of you for being holy.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, thank you for being holy. Now, allow me to become
unholy.
Allow me to be carnally minded. Now, does money play a role in respect and recognition?
Yes and no.
Okay, expatiate.
All right. If you call, I'm speaking generally now. If you call a guest minister to come minister in your church, and just like he said, there are other A-list guest ministers, and then you give them some kind of recognition, from the welcome to the where they sit, to how you announce them, when to come up to sing, to after the administration, what you say, to when they are going, what you give, compared to the other person. If there's no some kind of balance, it's a high level of disrespect. Now, I want to believe that generally, when we have guests coming to our houses, we have a way that we treat them, right?
Yeah.
I know that there are times we say, this is a special guest, very okay, very fine. And then there are just guests that are coming. But one thing I've learned over the time is that whatever kind of guest I get in my house, there are certain ways that I must treat them that when they are leaving, they must feel special.
There's a minimum standard.
Yes, there's a minimum standard. So I've shown you that I respect you and I'm glad that you came to my house. So inviting a guest minister to come to your church to minister means that you show the person maximum respect to the best of your ability. And you know, especially in that money area, if I know your capacity and I'm inviting you, I'll first of all tell you whether you should come with your team or not.
Okay.
And then if I know that you're not coming with your team, I will work on the team that will be there to give you backup or some other things like that. And they will not do it anyhow. I will get the best instrumentalists and everything for you so that it makes it easy for you. And then understanding that you came from somewhere, you didn't come like that. Based on my capacity and what I can handle, I will not allow you to go empty-handed. No matter how little, I will. And when I know that I'm giving you little, I will make you feel that I honor you, and this is the best I could give you at this point. You understand? But I will not just maybe just take one chin, put in one black leather and add malt and tie it and be giving as if I'm trying to bribe you. Okay, thank you for coming. God bless you. You are a blessing. You know, that kind of thing. It's you indirectly telling me that, hey, don't come again. Thank you. You know, I don't even need you to say it. I've already gotten the message. And I'm gone for good. You understand? But some kind of way that you will treat me will show that, if you might not even give me money, but the way you welcome me, the way you make me feel relaxed and feel at home, you understand? It will make me, tomorrow if you call me again, I won't say I'm not going there because they didn't give me £1. I will go there because I was treated well. And I want to go back again. So it's like when a guest comes to your house, what will make the guest want to come back? Or sorry, let me use my business as an example. I always tell my staff that one thing that will make you know that your business is good and is growing is that your clients are coming back. Okay. You understand? But if your clients don't come back, that means there's something wrong. It's either you did not treat them well, or their services was poor, or the product that you gave them was rubbish. Okay. So that will not allow them to come back. So for me to want to go back to a place, that means that I was treated well, I was accepted, I was honored. That will make me want to go back there. So except if the Lord specifically tell me you are going back there again.
So it shows that you were respected and recognized, and you always want to go back there. Okay. The reason why I asked about money being a factor, I'm going to be asking you now, Minister Namdi, and it's going to be two questions in one. Okay. And if you go to a place, you minister in a place, and you are treated very well, you are honored, and they now put 5,000 inside envelope and gave and said, God bless you. And they treated you very well, honored you, and they gave you 5,000. Let's say it was Gashua. Went to Gashua is in your state, I think.
From Abuja?
Yes, from Abuja.
Okay.
And then they gave you 5,000 naira. You went to another place. Let's say you went to Owerri. And you ministered there. And they treated you very fine. They honored you. And when you were going, they packaged 50,000 naira. And they gave you. And then you went to Ilesha. For another administration. You were treated very well. You're honored. Same thing. Same honor even. And then they packaged 1.5 million.
My God.
And they say, God bless you. They give you. Which one will you feel they respected you more?
Different strokes for different folks. Okay. No, but let's try to dissect it.
Yes, sir.
Like I said, different strokes for different folks.
And before anybody comes to my head, the fact that I use Geshua, Owerri, and this, it doesn't mean that those places are poor or are poorest or anything. No. It's just names that came to my head straight. Yes, sir.
You see, the truth is, we are humans. And money aids the ministry. The reason why there are budgets for ministries so that the minister of the ministry can run the ministry efficiently is just cannot be taken, cannot be overemphasized and all that. So let's go back to your question. First of all, background will be this. The music ministers are learning how not to merchandise
The gift.
the gift. Not how not to receive the thank you, but merchandising it. That does not mean
Please,
that.
I want to save a question. Merchandise, is it wrong? Just carry on.
Okay. That does not mean that you, a host, I have this principle and I teach it everywhere I go. I'm going to drop it as a book very soon. Do not host the grace you cannot honor. So in as much as the minister is learning that the work first, you, the host, you can't just come and say, permission to use this word. I want to invite the entire worship with Vashtie team. And when you are...
That reminds me.
Okay, it's controversy.
And when you are done, you are bowing down to say thank you. You see, the team has... or is learning how to understand that, okay, no problem. But calling the team back, rather, we will now say, okay, since we spent our own money, why just one keyboardist and the lead vocalist just go? Just to help you too.
Yeah.
And in the end,
very nice.
you will not even have the whole package.
Yeah.
So if you invite me in place C,
yeah,
and give me 1,500,000. If you're inviting me there again, I tell you, I'm not going to come alone because I know you have the capacity to host.
Your wife will ask you, say, what's wrong with you?
I may even come. I may even come with my wife. You get. I'll give you a practical example. I was at Jigawa some 2 weeks ago, and when the invitation came a month before then, and they told me, please, we don't have money for flights. And this is the amount we have. In that amount includes your transport to and fro, 50,000. In that amount includes your transport to and fro.
They told you.
They told me.
Yeah. Beautiful.
I had to pray. Because the truth is not now about what I want.
Yeah, but it was good they even came out.
Yes.
That's it. Being very sincere.
And then I prayed and I told them, I was like, see, and the Holy Spirit rebuked me and said, the work first. The work first. The work first. And I told you I was coming. I lie not. What God planned to do was what He did. And I repented over and over. So the truth is there must be a balance. I don't advise music minister to merchandise the money factor. I advise also the host to prepare for the grace you want to bring.
Thank you very much. So now, the second question I wanted to ask, which I'll just throw to both of you, it's for ministers to actually safeguard themselves from some of these kind of eventualities that can be embarrassing for the minister and his team. You find out that some negotiate ahead of coming for any invitation. Watch on online the other time that Minister Nathaniel Bassi,
Pastor Nathaniel
Bassi is a music minister, was giving a story about when he was invited to somewhere, I think Cote d'Ivoire or so.
One of these African
countries. One African country. And when they were done, even flight money for his team, him and his team, even his wife even went with them.
Yes.
He went with his wife and his team. The flight money to come back, they were stranded at the airport. They were stranded at the airport. So to come back was even an issue. He had to mop up cash from places and get his team back. In fact, he was begging them and brought them back. His team people told him, you should send them a stinker and all that. He said, no, just leave that. So that was an embarrassing situation which he faced. The other day I was listening on Instagram and somebody was saying, there is nothing wrong with you negotiating with whoever is inviting you ahead of coming for honoring their invitation. Are you of that school of thought too? should a minister negotiate just to forestall any embarrassment?
Yes, I am. Okay, I would say that I want to share a little of my experience. Maybe because I was not experienced. Someone invited me for a program, and she kept on telling me that I need you to come with your team, come with your team. And one thing that I have learned over time is that I should never go for a program without having enough money to be able to take care of my team.
Vex money? Is that vex money?
Call it whatever. But, in case of eventualities, I told myself that I will make sure that I have money. So if I tell you that, sorry, I won't be able to call, it means that I don't really have money to take care of my team. You understand? And I wouldn't come out to say, give us this amount and everything. So I even called some other persons that were not part of the team, because I think our bass guitarist and one other person were not there. So they were 4, and we went for the program plus my husband.
Emma was back up.
Yeah, Emma was back up. So at the end of the program, they gave us 20,000 naira, and I just gave the 4 of them, I just gave them 5,000 naira. In fact, I had given them, we had gone to withdraw money, right?
Yeah.
Yes, we had gone to withdraw money, so I just gave them 5,000 naira from my own money, you understand? And when I just say, Father, thank you. May your name be exalted. Because the person kept on saying, come with your team.
So in your mind, she has prepared big for your team.
And the person called me the person told me about the program maybe a year before the program.
Imagine.
So
there was time to prepare.
So was the mistake from her or from you?
I would say the mistake was from me.
Okay.
Because the truth is that most times we want to spiritualize a lot of things, and we know that this is what is applicable. You understand? If I am saying that, okay, because of my spiritual whatever, because of my standing with God, and I don't want anybody to see me as what have you, which is not even necessary, then I should have a manager who engages these people. You understand? And that's why you see that most of these big names we have in the gospel music ministry, they have managers who engage you. And they will tell you that, okay, my boss will not charge, but you know that we are coming with our team. You know that we are coming with instrumentalists and backups. And we cannot leave them like that. And it's true. It's just realistic. Let's look at Abuja, for example. Let's break it down in Abuja. I have a bass guitarist that is coming from Maraba. I have a keyboardist that is living in Gwagwalada. I am living in Lugbe. And then I have most of my backups maybe living in Lugbe. And I'm just using this as an example. And then I'm invited for a program in Maitama. For heaven's sake, I am going to give the person that is coming from Maraba transport to come.
Yes.
And sometimes because I want him to get there early, I might say take an Uber. So an Uber will bring him and take him back. Let's say, plus or minus, let's say he's going to spend 6,000 or 7,000 naira for that. So that's already 7,000 naira going to one person. And then I'm calling somebody from
This one is
Gwagwalada.
transport.
That's what I'm saying. I'm calling somebody from Gwagwalada. I'm also telling you that I'm giving you maybe that same amount. Then maybe from Lugbe, 5,000 naira each, to and fro. If you do all the calculation, we're already arriving at something about 60,000 naira or so. Now, it would be foolish of me. Okay, it's fine, it's okay. My host that is calling me, do they know how I'm going to bear the brunt of bringing these people? The one thing about most hosts is that they don't care. All they want is that let the people be there and let them do what they are supposed to do. And then sometimes some people have vowed in their lives that we will not pass this amount. Any minister that will bring to our church or to our program, we're going to give the person 30,000 naira. 30,000 naira. And then when they are saying 30,000 naira, some that are fair will say that, no, we're being very realistic here. Some that are fair will say, just come alone.
Exactly.
You understand? We have our musicians and what have you, and they will do it for you. While some will tell you, bring your whole team, plus your backups, plus your work. It might be that program that they are having, they don't even have a musical team. So it's your own team that will be their musical team there. There's nothing wrong in my team being your musical team. But when we finish, you don't even know whether it was my last 200 naira that I left my house with. It's not even about me. How do I now take care of these people one by one? And many of them, because we won't come out at them and see they did not give us anything, they won't even believe you that they didn't give you anything. Especially when the program is overhyped and they'll be like, this big program where we go, they won't tell us, they don't give us anything. So it's actually very dicey. We need to, as hosts and as ministers, we need to strike a balance and be more realistic about this. If you're a pastor and you're calling me to come and minister in your church, if you have a band in your church, just tell me to come alone. If you want to give me transport, fine. If you don't give me even transport, I understand. But when I come with people, when I come with a team, I think you should understand and know that I need to give these people something to take them back. Before I allow my brother to speak, I want to say that we had an experience. I went for a convention recently, and they called them and said, "Come and play. This is something that's going to take about 4 days or so." They say, "Come and play this one, that one." The person say, "Okay, on a normal day, we give these people this so amount because for transportation, I'm taking them off their parents for some days.
Yeah.
So this is what we give them." And they said, "Okay, don't worry, just come. Whatever it is, we're going to give you." And at the end of the whole thing, the total was amounting to about 100,000 or thereabout. And they just say, at the end of everything, they say, "It's 50,000 that we can afford, and that's what we will give you." The person was broken. But
because I'm a good person.
Yes, and because of his kind of temperament,
Mm.
all that he did was that he came and met me because he knows that I will understand. He said, I came to you because you understand you are in this ministry. This is what it is. And because the people that were involved were people that I respect so much, I couldn't even go and confront them and say, "Why would you do that?" So I just promised him. God knows, say, as I promise that promise, I don't get 1 naira. I say, "Okay, I'll add 20,000 naira to whatever they have given you." I did not have. It was after 1 month I actually sent the 20,000 naira. But I'm happy that I sent it and I begged him and he said he understands. That he knew that it is only me that will understand how they feel because these boys are under him and they will feel as if they gave him something and he doesn't want to give them. You know, that's how we say. So please, if you are calling any music minister and the person is coming with his team, please do your own calculation. If you are living in Gwagwalada and you are going to your church in Garki, please calculate how much do you spend to get to Garki. If you are going to ask something, add it and then do the calculation based on that for every other team member that the person is bringing. Then we'll arrive at something. So that we'll not be accusing ministers that they are just charging money. People are quick to judge. They are charging money. They only want money and everything. No.
I think we need to do more. I think we need to do more as music ministers. We need to do more to make people understand how we feel. That we also have needs. You understand? As music ministers, we also have needs. And we should not be seen as if... because sometimes it tends to look as if music ministers are made to look desperate. That they are desperate for...
You know, is this notion that people have that freely have you received, freely give. For heaven's sake, if people want to say they want to collect money, I want to collect money, you are going to pay a whole lot.
Yes.
You understand?
Yes.
But this is not money. You're not paying me for singing. I will never, Vashtie, I will never ask you to pay me because I came to sing in your church. But if I'm coming with a team, if you insist that I come with a team, please, you need to understand that these people are human beings. And I don't have any money anywhere that I'm plucking to bring it to them and say, take as support. You must make a provision for that.
Thank you.
Okay, a quick one. I think there's just a problem with that word negotiate.
The negotiate is like, okay, let me just give an example. Sorry for continuing. I'm coming, you want me to come. In fact, let me say the way the guy said it. Say, okay, somebody invites you to a program and you asked him, this is how he said, what's your budget? What is your budget for music or for guests that you're inviting? Based on your budget, I'll be able to know
how many people are bringing
you,
or only alone.
Or I will come alone, or I'll walk with you.
Like what they told you in Jigawa. It was them being very open. This is what we
Many times they will not want to tell you what their budget is.
So that's why I started by saying their word negotiation is let's say it can be seen in different outsourced from the business world. If you use the word negotiate, however we try to explain it,
it looks like some business.
It looks like. So let's keep that word. Okay. Why don't we converse? Why don't we talk? Clarify the air. Because it's this because amongst the sheep there are goats.
Yes.
Even amongst ministers there are people who are merchandising.
Yes.
And these people
and it's
also...
very easy to use the same brush to paint.
Exactly. Yeah. So these people also are frontiers. They've even gone ahead. So when it happens to a church, one pastor may just tell you that that's how they are. I'm speaking from the other side, from where Mama finished. I'm coming from the other side. So we can't totally say all musicians. We're not talking for all musicians. So let's talk for ourselves. When I officially recognized my ministry, I told God, it was an agreement with God, I will never put a figure to my ministry. Now, that is personal, and that means there will be times where it will be tested. Get me? So sometimes when I see the test, I recognize this is a test. And at that point, I am careful because I go back to the person I had an agreement with, the Holy Spirit. I went for that program in Jigawa. I tell you the truth, I've not traveled that long by road. And let's leave the by stories. But I was happy seeing that God wanted to use me indeed as a vessel. And then I now say, wait, this was a test. I recognize there are those that are tests. While there are those that are people that shouldn't host events. Because they have no understanding about that word, hosting an event. Yeah. The Bible says, is there any one of you who wants to build that will not settle down and calculate brick by brick, nail by nail, before you start building, except you don't consider your event. Except you don't consider...
When you're being decky, you know it's not cheap.
Yes, sir.
Except you don't consider it worthwhile. And the truth is, if you don't have the money, if you don't have the means of hosting a grace, two things can happen. One, discuss with the maker of that, the person who has given you that vision. I remember last year, Worship with Vashtie, the light concert. Getting close. There was literally almost no money, right? But the event happened. Yes. The guest we wanted came, yes, and it was a huge success. How did it happen? God cannot leave you. Yes. I'm talking two ways. Wait a minute. I'm talking two ways. As a host, go back to God. I want this person. And you see, if God wants, if God wants
this person.
Yes, that person.
if God now says, okay, you can have this person. You don't even have to bring anything. I will take care of this person. See, God can solve it. Now, that is from you as a host. Then from you as a guest, God can tell you, go there. There's nothing there, but go and minister. Because in the end, it's about the flock. The Bible says the harvest is plenty, but the laborers are few. So if we all have the mindset that there is a work to be done, first of all, there is a work to be done. However, the factors, the money, the whatever, the respect, the recognition, but there is a work to be done. Then we can always involve the Holy Spirit. The Holy Spirit cannot be an author of confusion. So if today you are hosting me, now there's also a place of truth and sincerity. See, if you tell me that God has asked me to bring you, and this is what I have, I tell you, when I pray, God will reveal. And I will come with my team, bear the loss, bear the consequences, because we are communicating from a realm different from this canal.
You guys, two of you are talking because you are holy. Don't mind me. All right, now this is the angle I want to come from. Now, see. Minister Namdi, you don't have a manager now.
Yes.
You manage yourself.
Yes.
For now.
Yes.
All right. You mentioned something that people that merchandise this ministry. Both of you are talking because you seem to have it as a ministry, and then it's not like you are calling this your source of income.
Yes.
You have another source of income which God blesses, but this is a ministry. Now, for me, where say this one I give to God give me, and the gift I want to use as my work.
Mm.
As you are doing your complimentary card and you're saying you're a baker, you're this one, you are saying you're this one, you're that one, you're a music teacher, you're a music coach and all that. Me, I'm saying to sing, not be my work. Am I wrong to say to sing, not be my work?
No, sir.
And if I sing and not my work, am I not supposed to be paid for my work?
Yes.
And if I'm supposed to be paid for my work, is it not supposed to be like my business?
Yeah.
Okay.
And if it's my business,
Okay.
am I not allowed to negotiate with whoever wants to employ
You are
my
allowed,
services?
sir. You are very,
Okay,
very
can
allowed.
I start, please?
Yes, sir. Because people that have managers,
Yes.
some will say, like I picked something from what you said. You said you have vowed not to put a figure on what you
On an invite,
on an invite. If people that don't want to put figure, they now have manager. Manager will put figure for them.
Okay, let me start.
Manager will put figure there. I said, no, I don't used to charge, but your manager is charging. Yes, sir. At the vex.
If you remember the analogy I gave about the ministry, the minister.
Yeah.
Do you know that the minister doesn't fix himself into the ministry? Somebody greater fixes him and say, go, take charge of this ministry. One. That now says that there is somebody who sponsors the ministry, not the minister. The minister doesn't sponsor the ministry. The authority that places the minister sponsors the ministry. So, if you are called into ministry, it's different completely. Because the pastor who preaches is called into minister, but the MC who speaks is not a minister. So when you're inviting an MC to come and talk, you pay him.
I want to say something.
You don't give me a land though.
Yes, I don't want him to land. Joshua, please don't raise up for me. I want to say something.
This 5 minutes not going to do us.
If I see a woman selling plantain chips,
Yes, ma'am.
and I go to meet her that I want to buy plantain chips, and the woman tells me that her plantain chips is sold for 2,000 naira.
Yeah.
I don't have any right to insult the woman. If another person is selling a plantain chips for 500, and I insist that it's the woman's one I want to buy, then I should be ready to pay the 2,000 naira. So, if you as a host go and meet somebody because the person is singing gospel song, and you say it's you I want to come to my church, and the person say I'm a business person, but I do it in the gospel way.
Yes.
This music that I'm doing is business for me. Now they are the chop. It is because you are the one who decided that you want that person to come. So you must be ready to pay whatever that person is calling. And don't go back and castigate the person that why is the person charging that. It is different from the one that God called the person into the ministry and told you that I will sponsor this ministry by myself. Which means that you are beyond being a minister. You are an evangelist, you are a missionary, which means that anywhere they call you to go, that means that your kind of work is the one that anywhere they call you, whether the money is there or not, you are going. Because that is what God told you to.
So if you do not want, if you are having issue with the 2,000 naira for this woman's plantain chips, go somewhere else.
Go and buy the 500 naira.
If she's saying, don't, you must give me 2,000
naira. Because you might even meet somebody that will decide to dash you for free.
And don't insult her.
Well, you see, there must be a striking line.
Yes, sir.
Between business. You see, I started by saying negotiation and business.
Yes.
You see, in the ministry, there are offices. In the offices, there are employees. Now, the employee may not understand the vision of the minister. All they do this and they say yes. And at that junction, such persons are on salary.
Yeah.
So what you run with them is a business.
Yes.
But what you run is your ministry. I'm trying to put a balance.
No, I understand.
Now, the place of money is important because you have employed. Like Mama said, you bring in somebody coming from Guabalada who does not know that, Mama, you are the one they invited. You are the minister.
It's not me.
Yes, it's not me. So it's you that they invited. You understand? But me, I beg. This is what I do. I'm a keyboardist. And you need my service for your ministry.
Find a way to set
Now, for between me and you, what is in for me? Now, maybe out of respect, they don't ask you that. But you that have an understanding finds a way of solving that.
Yes.
Now, see, but the challenge will now be that you, the minister, no, not on behalf of your ministry, for selfish and whatever. See, let's use practical our ministries now.
Remember say you the minister get family, get children.
No, get it, Paul.
Go pay school fees.
The ministers are on salary. The ministers get paid. So I tell you, God does.
Which of the ministers?
The minister of any ministry.
Okay, but we that are running our own ministry, who pays us?
If you've been called into ministry, there is a payment
God,
for
right?
you. I tell you the truth.
Yeah.
Now, it will come through human. It will come as long life. It will come. Let's even go back.
You're right, sir.
Let's even go back, sir. Worship with Vashtie. I'm sure the vision has the vision bearers may have known that yes, it will last long, but they didn't know how it will last long. Who ran it?
They don't know.
God. So
They don't know.
They don't know.
so that it brings me back to you. The first thing has God called you. If He has not called you, do business. If God has not called you into ministry,
But sir,
do business.
My problem with saying do business now is that when somebody now comes and says, it's business that I'm running, it is still we that will start judging the person that, are you not a Christian? Are you supposed to collect money? In the days of old, when we were in Orthodox church, they don't used to collect, they used to beg to come and play and everything. Now, there are instrumentalists who play for free.
Yes.
But you see, one thing about this is that, just like you said, you are a minister, but you are employing a keyboardist and other persons. Now, if you have them that are coming based on free will, okay, thank you very much, God bless you, you understand the vision. One day they will tell you that, I don't have transport to come. And God bless you that you don't even have transport, you too. There's nothing you can do. Or they tell you that, sorry, I've not eaten for days. I will not be able to come. What would you do at that point? You understand? So, one thing about the ones who will tell you we are doing it for free, we agree that they are doing it for free. But there are times that they have needs and they will need help.
Yes, please let me just say this very quickly. I think I like. Okay, I think.
Carry on.
Go ahead.
All right. This is it. This is it. The thing is, there is the bearer of vision.
Joshua, sorry.
Who is the minister of the ministry that has been birthed.
Yes.
You see, that bearer, the way God will work with you, will be different from the people that will work with you.
Yeah.
So, sometimes as a bearer of vision, you will walk to a program. Money or no money.
Yes,
because there is something you and God have discussed. So what we have these days are people who have not been called into ministry.
Yeah.
But because they enjoy the title, the accolades, the everything, they now added to be called ministers. And then they are now messing up the whole thing.
Destroying the...
For example, sir, I have heard, Mama, with all due respect, I've heard you said, we don't have money for a rehearsal. Bring them. We would have agreed that, okay, let's bring fewer persons. But I will get a call, let everybody come for rehearsals. And at that time, everybody will get transport, get this, there will be food. How did it happen? I'm sure there was a form of sacrifice somewhere. Because you are the bearer of the vision. So you are the minister. Now, at this point, I can call you a minister. Because God carries the minister. So it's different from you. For example, a keyboardist, if you have been called to minister as a keyboardist, you are different from the one who is not called. And don't judge that one. My pastor.
That's my point. Don't judge the ones that are saying give us.
My pastor, I love him so well. The world should hear Pastor Jazz. I love him so much. I like how he works with people.
Pastor Jazz.
There are people that comes to him as business. He works with you. I need you. What? Okay, let's talk business. No problem. What's your bill? Okay, stay. But there are people that come as ministers. Now, those that are ministers, guess what? When you run into, issues, the way you are treated is different. But the business, you run into issues, you come to me and say, excuse me. No, we are finished.
This now brings me to the last thing, so that we can, Joshua wants us out of this place now. So it brings me to the last thing I'd love us to x-ray. And that is, both of you have worked with church leadership, right? I heard you just mention about working with your pastor, and you have worked under church leadership. Okay. So, what advice will you give to pastors and church leaders about recognizing the efforts of their music team, about recognizing their musicians in particular? I've heard some pastors say, I have pastors working under me, I have instrumentalist musicians and singers working under me that are employed. And they say, I cannot, what I give to pastors cannot be at par with what I give to musicians. You understand? Yeah, they shouldn't be at the same level. Now, I want to see it in one way. Don't you think that these pastors are actually trying to tame these musicians or these singers? Because, there's some of us that watch football. There's a problem when the star player is earning more than the coach. Mm-hmm. You go get away where the coach go talk to them and go say, no, I'm not going to, I'm not going to play this game. Mm-hmm. Because he earns more and he feels he has a higher status than the coach. We have had that a lot with the Nigerian team, where the coach is not respected because he's not collecting anything, but the players are collecting plenty. Huge, yeah. So don't you think that the pastors are actually employing that to tame? Because this our music ministry, this our gift. There's a way it can get into our head and make us pompous and make us feel. So some of them say, if Joshua is my pastor and Ima is my keyboardist, and I'm paying them the same, or I'm even paying Ima more than my pastor, Ima can go out and say, me where they collect past that pastor. You understand? They can do that. So don't you think that pastors are actually trying to tame the musicians, and it's kind of rubbing off on other people who are genuinely actually trying to do this work? It may be a case of, say, I think this word runs in the pastor's head. Say, God know why give lion horn. Mm. Imagine say lion get horn.
Apart from the
teeth and God can't give a horn. So God know why give lion horn. So don't you think that's how pastors are viewing it? Is it a wrong perception, and how can it be corrected? What advice can you give church leadership in recognizing their team and respecting their team? Let me start with you then, Momo.
Okay. Test of spirits. There are hirelings. There are people who are not godly. Mm. You can't just bring because you need skill. Mm. So test of spirit. Not every keyboard, not every business musician is a hireling. Mm. There are people that will change in church through time, but there are people who are just hirelings. So test your spirit, 1. 2.
Because sometimes they just view these guys as necessary evil.
Yes. So 2, like I said, pastors, I think it's high time we started coming together.
It shouldn't be a pastors versus musicians.
Yes, it's high time we started coming together, yes. Because, like I said, you the pastor, you are the visionary of that church or parish or something. But you will have to employ to people that will help drive that vision. And if you need to employ a keyboardist, employ. You are employing. You are not paying salary. Just paying like you're paying salary. What you have with your pastors is different. But you need a good hand on the keyboard, a good hand on the drum, and what it will cost. Unfortunately, we put it. It's some 20,000-30,000 on top of what you're giving the pastor. Now, my negotiation, what I'm driving is a business with this guy. Yeah. I need you to come do this for me. No problem. Then if your pastors understands too.
Yeah.
They should also understand that we are all
Yeah.
trying to drive home
Yeah.
this vision.
Yeah.
I think it's high time we started just all coming together.
There should be more
Yes, ma'am.
collaboration. Mama, please.
Okay, for me, I will even talk to the musicians and the choir people. You also have to build yourself to a level where you don't even need to ask for respect or recognition. It just comes naturally. Because I believe that a lot of us don't even do our own assignments. We don't do our work, you understand? People who are very lackadaisical about their jobs, you understand? You are a keyboardist, you come to church, you play, and then you are out. You want to go somewhere quickly and you say, somebody cover up for me. Maybe you do the praise session and then you are gone. Or sometimes you just keep giving one excuse because you want to go for one gig somewhere. You want to see how in a day you're able to collect plenty monies from different places. Because I'm sorry to say, in many churches, I'm not saying all churches, but in many churches, there are many instrumentalists, many choir people that take a lot of things for granted. They just do the work anyhow, and all their concern is that because it is church, they should give them their money.
And they still want to respect her.
And they still want respect and recognition. There's no how that pastor will give you any recognition or any respect, because you have not shown yourself worthy of receiving any respect or any recognition. So if you are a musician, if you are a singer, if you are a minister, you must build your character. If you are the one that is being paid, ensure that the money that you are being paid is commensurate with the work that you are doing. Don't be a trance. We have so many trance in the house of God, and they say that we are business people, they are not paying us. You are a trance. Stop it so that they can recognize you and they can respect you. Then, for the pastors, I think not just pastors, but even church members. I mean, if people do well, just like you having a child, and your child does well, you are going to give the child kudos.
Yeah.
My kids this morning, I had to step out, and when I came back, I told them fix the house, and they knew that we were going to be doing a podcast. I never imagined that they know how the setup is. All the setup you are saying, they are the ones that actually did the setup. And when I came in, I was so happy. I was so excited that, oh, that's good. And I gave them thumbs up. I was like, God, thank you for these children. I was so happy. That's what we should be doing in church. But sometimes we feel as if we give them recognition or if we honor them, they are going to become
get into their head.
And everything. But that's not it. If some people were to get into their head, there are some others who that's a kind of recognition will spur them to do well. Let me close with this. I remember very well, many years ago, we were having choir weekend, and the Lord just laid it in my heart. I was a choir leader, that we should give award to dedicated choir members. And that day, I didn't even have money. I was the one that came up with the idea. So what we did was to get maybe some books that has to do with music. 4. Just 4 people were going to recognize. And then people were in church, so we're like, these people, we said a lot of things about them and how committed they are. They don't miss rehearsals. They are always on time and everything. And then while we did that, they called them out. In fact, one of them was crying. I remember very well, AY is among them. He was crying that in his life that nobody has ever given him any gift. He was so encouraged. It built him up. But that was not even it. Somebody from the congregation now said, that he sent in money, I think whether 80,000 or 100,000 naira, we that were giving just a book, a bit paper, and he said, let them give it to each of these people. And we didn't give the money in the choir purse. We gave it to them as the man gave the money. They were encouraged. I can tell you that after that day, their commitment tripled. Today, AY is doing well. He's the choir leader and he's carrying people along. And I know the many of them that are also in choir and are doing very well because they were recognized and they were honored. So once in a while, let's honor these people. Let's show them that we appreciate what you are doing. Yeah. We love you. I saw a viral video where the pastor told them that they are not ready, they should get down, they should get out. And what have you, I felt so bad. I was not in the church, but I felt for those people, that these are people who are willing to serve God. They may have 1 or 2 lapses here and there, which is very normal.
Yes, exactly.
Yes, and it can be corrected. You understand? And they can get better and better. But the way he spoke with them, I'm sure that some of them will not return to that church again. So it's very important that these people are giving a lot. They spend 3, 4, 5, 6 hours of rehearsals and everything. I mean, they should be recognized. Some are not asking for money, but you are doing well. God bless you. I thank you for good singing. The Lord honor you. Members of churches, pastors of churches, please do that very, very often for your choir members, and you will see commitment from them.
Thank you very much. There's nothing more I could say. I wanted to say a few things to round up, but there's nothing more I could say. They have said it all. Respect and recognition is earned, and it's important for us to see it as a collaboration, as what we're doing together, doing the work together, and not a bout, not a fight, not a context between leadership and music or no, there's no contest. We're all working towards the same thing. So thank you very much.
I'll say something.
Oh God.
Thank you very much.
And just how you have to capture
Oh
this.
God. Oh God.
Okay, we talked about...
We said we were going to do 15 minutes.
We talked about respect and recognition. Now, I want you guys to respect and recognize Worship with Vashtie. And how are you going to do that? By coming for the Light Concert 3. It is on the 29th of October, 2023. When I see you there, I will be glad because you recognize us and you respect what we are doing. And don't forget to also send your support. Thank you. I love you.
Thank you very much,
I agree.
Mama. Thank you very much. Minister Namdi, thank you very much.
Thank you.
It's been a wonderful time discussing here. Thank you very much. I had so many things I still wanted to talk about, but my guy is saying that it's time. Maybe we'll try to fix another one and we'll continue this talk.
October will be an open edition.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. So you heard it from Mama. The Light Concert is on the 29th of October, and the theme is
One sound,
One Voice.
How about September?
Yes, I'm coming there. All right, so please join us for the Light Concert, 29th October. We're going to be having Worship with Vashtie, our September edition, on the 24th of September. And the time is 5 p.m. Please join us online on Facebook. And then we'll post the videos later on YouTube where you can have a very wonderful experience. Please follow us on Facebook at Vashtie Phemie in Dagana, and also like our page. Follow us on Instagram at Vashtie Phemie in Dagana also, and on YouTube at Worship with Vashtie. All this content we have the podcast, we have monthly editions of Worship with Vashtie. We have music videos produced and done by Vashtie. Please enjoy them. They are very, very edifying content. Please make sure you like our videos. And if you have any comments, please put down your comments so that you can make us better. Thank you for joining us always. Thank you for being with us. Please, the theme for Worship with Vashtie September edition is from Psalm 150 verse 6. Let everything that has breath praise the Lord. So please join us 5 p.m. on the 24th. That is Sunday of September, and God will bless you indeed. Thank you, Emily. Thank you, Vashtie.
Thank you very much.
And from me,
Thank you, my darling.
Thank you, our team.
My love.
Tosin, you are calling me love now. Tosin, Ima, Fisayo, and Joshua.
It's not by power.
Joshua is scratching his eye. I'll make you guess. No. Thank you, everyone. God bless you, and see you next month. Thank you very much.
If you put that one there.